Well, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon again. Welcome back to the Stick to Travel podcast. Yes, some things never change, huh? Just much like some of the flights that I rely on. Late, 10 minutes late, I tell you. Anywho, we are expecting a very, very special guest on the show over here. And this one's going to be an interesting one because I'm going to give you part two of my travel stories. True, nonetheless, they are true. There's no lying. There's no lie. I tell you no truth. I tell you no truth. I tell you no lie. But I hope you are okay. Each and every one of you is watching now. And if you wouldn't mind kindly supporting the channel by subscribing, that's all you've got to do. Subscribe. There is an opportunity nonetheless. Sorry, let me just get this lined up. There is an opportunity nonetheless. I tell you, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh my goodness. There is an opportunity to join us over here. Where are we? There we go. There we go. It's live there. There we go. That's it. Is that it? That's it. Yes. Oh, that's not it. Okay, that's not it. That's not it. What's going on? Oh my lordy. What's going on? Oh, here we go. Here we go. That is it. That is it right there. There is an opportunity, and nonetheless, to join us over here on an opportunity. And you're probably thinking, huh? What am I talking about? Well, you need to join us. Send me an email at not Arsenal, Alex underscore 35956 at yahoo.com or WhatsApp on 07949 But if you are not in the UK, it's plus 44 7 But I will be repeating all those bits and pieces towards the end of the special podcast. And we are going to be joined by a special guest just in a few moments. But do you know what? Let's get this show cracking and going. So the first thing I want to talk about, again, these are travel stories which are true. They're very, very true. The first thing I want to talk about is underestimating time required for security. Now, there are too many travelers who have missed flights because they just didn't get themselves enough time to get through security. Nothing setting the blood pressure high, and I've been there so many times, rocketing like watching your flight time creep up while you stand helplessly in the queue. Now, I have been there. I was there. When was I there? Almost this time last year. It's gone so very quick. So there I am. Bought my ticket to go to the motherland. Is it the motherland? Not quite. Costa Rica. And I booked the tickets and time for me to fly. My connecting flight was Houston. So I flew from Heathrow to Houston, and we landed there. I can't remember I landed there, and we landed, I thought, within time. So we were going through the immigration. I'm looking at my watch. I'm looking at the queue. The queue is looking at me. I'm looking back at the queue. I'm thinking, no, I have enough time. We're going through the queue slowly. Meanwhile, there's some people rushing through the line. Excuse me. I think, what's going on? Unbeknownst to me, the first line of security. So, you get through immigration, they ask you a question like, where are you traveling from? Where are you going to? What's the hotel? But this was in transit because I landed there. That was my connecting flight to go onwards to Costa Rica, Juan Santa Maria airport in Costa Rica. So we're creeping slowly. I'm looking at my watch. I'm thinking, I think I've got enough time. I'm there talking to my other passengers. I'm thinking, all right, where are you going to? I'm going to Costa Rica. We don't have enough time. I said, what are you talking about? No, because there's another level of security we've got to pass through. I was thinking, oh my goodness. So there's like 1 hour, 15 minutes, and we're not halfway through. We're not halfway through immigration. I kid you not. And I start to get a little bit worried. So we go through the first line of security, the usual questions, where you're traveling from, where you're going to, what's the name of the hotel. I was thinking, there's no hotel. This is I'm in transit to go onwards. So we go past the first line of security. There's a rush of people thinking, what's the rush? We're running late. So the second line security is on the next floor. I was thinking, what is going on here? Cut a long story short, we eventually get through the second line security. We're running, there's a lot of people running from the second line security to the gate, the same gate as me. There's probably 30, 40 of us running. So we get to the gate, which is at the other end of the airport, Houston Airport, and we see the airplane on the tarmac, and they're rolling back the gate. The gate's already closed. It's already closed at this point. I'm thinking, oh my goodness. Now, I'm not sure whether you've been in this situation before. I mean, do you like the palm trees, by the way? I'm not sure if you've been in a situation before where you've arrived at your gate through no fault of your own, and you can see the gate is closed, but the airplane's already on a tarmac. That was like, I had a sinking feeling, thinking, "Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to sleep in the airport." So there's a woman there with her assistant being harangued by maybe 5 or 6 people, and it was not a good sight. So cut a long story short, when you are booking your flight, check the details, the connecting flight. Is there, so I can see, I've got my guess here. Is there enough time to get your connecting flight onwards? But Houston, the Houston airport, the administration was absolutely terrible. You know, some of us were remonstrating because we were told, no, you got to go and complain on the other side. Go over there. We went over there, and fights almost broke out. But I didn't stay in the airport. I did get on to my flight eventually. But it was a flight from Houston to Colombia, Colombia to Costa Rica. Oh, goodness. Primo!
Hey,
Ricardo.
¿qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa?
I'll
What's
just
going
tell you
on?
one story about what happened to me last year when I went back to Costa Rica, man. It wasn't good,
Yeah.
man. Have you had any problems like that when you've flown and then you're connecting flight, you miss your flight, you're connecting
Oh God, too many stories, too many stories. Something like that happening to me in Spain. By the way, I was on my way to Cuba, and I was traveling London, Madrid, Havana, and they by the time I embarked here, they didn't explain to me clearly that I needed to do self transfers. So I pay all this money. I'm expecting my luggage to be in the next plane, not me collecting the luggage, going out, coming back again. Anyway, to cut the long story short, I'm sitting there, and they're about to call everybody, and about to do a check-in in next plane. Bang! When I get there, um, I asked them, "What is you know, the luggage?" He said to me, "Oh, it's right." I said, "Listen, but where, where my luggage?" And if the reason why I asked, I don't remember what was the reason why I picked in that one. I asked them about the luggage, and the lady said, "Well, listen, you should have picked your luggage." I said, "No, no, 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 no. Nobody told me that." So he said to me, "Well, your luggage basically in the said thing, he's all there. But we need to go now." I said, "Listen, no, no, I cannot go without my luggage." She said, "Well, you can jump on a plane and go to Havana." I said, "No, no, I'm not doing that. I want my luggage." And I remember she said to me, "Well, you can try to see if you can get them." I had to run, but talking about running desperately. Listen, I don't wish that to anyone. I
Yeah,
had to
yeah,
run. I had to come out. I had to ask for permission, come out because I was inside already. Come out, found my luggage. Then I needed to get inside. But the thing is, because the check-in was already shut down, I couldn't. That was a big luggage, so I couldn't get the luggage through the normal, costume thing.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
this is to me, no problem. You explain to them that this is an emergency. Anyway, I'm running on my luggage and get there. Oh, there's an emergency. and there is a guy talking to me in Spanish, and he said to me, "No, no, but I want you to open your luggage." I said, "Listen, this is an emergency. This luggage I'm being already checked. It's no problem." I explained to him, and the guy said to me, "No, I want you." That was basically the main reason why I missed the plane. Anyway, I had to open my luggage, and the guy, imagine, big luggage. He looked at my luggage and said to me, he said to me like that, "I want the deodorant and I want the body spray." I said to him, "What?" I said to him, he said to me, otherwise, otherwise, you won't be able to pass your luggage through here because this is not to pass that size of luggage. I explained to him this is an emergency. Anyway, to cut to cut the long story short, I had to give him my deodorant and my body spray.
Oh
I let
man.
me close my eye. Basically, he rolled me. He rolled me in my face. You know, I closed my luggage. I ran. When I got to a gate, the gate was shut, and the lady said, "I'm really sorry, but you can't get you can't get that plane."
Oh man.
So, but says God that because I'm a travel agent, I just make a few calls in
Yeah.
to London, and my business partner here, he got me a hotel close to the airport, and I had to postpone everything in Havana because I had another a beautiful hotel waiting for me in Havana. Everything sorted out. I had to call and say, "Listen, I'm not coming down tonight. I'm coming down tomorrow." So I spent another day in Madrid at the hotel. I got some wine, go to my room, have some wine and chocolate, go to bed, wake up the next day, and play tequila. Yeah,
Man.
man.
I mean, I've been in that situation maybe three times.
Really.
Three times, and again, last year was probably the worst because when I got to the help desk, it was just full of people complaining with the agents, and they said, "Well, look, if you're going to shout, we're not going to help you." I thought, you know what? When it comes my time, I need to make sure that I'm calm and able to explain to them. I need to get to my destination. But that was one of the worst situations I've been in. One of the worst, man. Oh my goodness.
Man, the airports, you need to be clear. But
Yeah,
even sometimes, if you are clear, it's just you can miss your flight for anything. And
yeah,
I always try to give myself a little bit of time when I do a connection flight, a little bit of time because it's just it gets tricky. It gets
yeah,
really, really tricky out there. And for anything, boom, you miss your flight, you're stranded. You're done.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Wow, man, stories. I
Okay.
can't.
So the second thing we talk about is when you before you travel in most banks, because some of the banks now are only online. The apps, they don't have many high street banks. Even my wife's Barclays Bank, they've closed down the local banks on the high street. So one thing that we have learned is that you've got to inform your bank that you're going to travel. Because the
Mhm.
last thing you want is you're going to be thinking, I'm going to use only my credit or debit card when I'm out there, and then you try to use it, try to take money out from the local ATM, and the bank blocks your card because they're thinking there's somebody trying to scam our customer. So you got to make sure that you tell your bank before you travel, listen, I'm going to this destination, I'm going to be using taking out some local currency, because you don't want to be stranded literally thinking, what am I going to do? I'm in this country and there's no way for me to use my ATM and use the local currency. I mean, that's happened to me maybe once when I was in Colombia. I didn't tell, the bank was Santander, and I used my ATM, put a pin in. Then I think the following week I was trying to take some more money out, and I couldn't use my card because I didn't inform Santander that I was traveling, and they thought there's somebody scammed or maybe cloned my card, and I had to call them and say, no, it's me, and go through the
Wow.
whole security process and say, look, prove it that it was me. So before
Wow.
you travel, tell your bank that you are traveling. Primo, has it ever happened to you, man?
Um, yeah, yes. In Cuba, anything is possible. Of course, it happened to me. I mean, 20 times. And to be honest, I don't know you in Colombia, but for me, it was even more difficult because I remember when was that last time that I had it? the situation got really. I think once was in Havana again, and for me in Havana, internet in Cuba is really bad. I mean, the internet in Cuba can lay you down. Imagine I needed to go to a hotel to be around the hotel to pick the signal from the hotel to get my phone in London, my phone here, in London working to be able to make that connection. And I struggle with that bad. And then when I managed to make the connection with London, London was asking me for some code. I said, okay, we're gonna send you a code, but you need to respond to that because it's the only way. But because of the internet, the interference, I couldn't do it. I ended up asking for money because I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, and the cars were completely blocked. So I learned my lesson. So I started traveling with um, a prepaid card. I started using Starlink, and Starlink is
Ah,
really good. It's really good. Also, you can unlock it yourself.
yeah,
So my Starlink will never get locked anywhere in
yeah,
Cuba. Yeah,
yeah,
also it works over there. So I
yeah,
said, no, Starlink, and if you need anything, I get internet and do bank transfers by using the apps. I get the money in Starlink
yeah, yeah.
and get
It's
that
probably just
away.
because I'm with Starling as well.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
with
yeah, I love
Starling as well.
Starlink. I love
Yeah,
Starlink.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah,
Starlink.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
All right. Okay. The next one, this one is this one is absolutely true. So have I found it here? Have I found it? When you're traveling, I remember traveling to Australia in 2003/4, and I was working in retail, and our flight again was from Heathrow to Japan, and we had like a 4 hour stopover before we went onwards to Australia. And I tell you, the time zone difference, because it's almost like a day's difference. When we eventually got there, our friends were saying, "Oh no, well, let's go to the pub." Man, I was thinking the pub. I'm so tired. I'm still stuck in the UK zone, GMT zone, man. And you're talking about going to the pub. Oh my goodness, that was that. I mean, apart from the flight, it was like an 18, 19 hour flight again from UK to Japan, and
wow,
then waiting 4 hours, and then from there to Australia. I think it was, I can't remember how it was, but in total it was more than 24 hours flight, primo, and that
wow,
was a killer. And then arriving in Australia, and I was saying, oh, we can go. We're going to give you maybe 1 hour to get ready, and we're going to go to the pub. I think no, no, I was stuck in the other zone. So, man, has that ever happened to you, man?
uh, this is I get to I don't know because Australia is a big chunk of it's just going to the other side of the world. It's
Yeah,
completely different. All right? It's not like still if you go to the Caribbean, you can get by. I don't know, but it's different, but not that bad like going to Australia. I don't know. My body has never experienced anything like that, but um sometimes I need a couple of days for the body to adjust properly,
yeah,
to
yeah,
the time difference. Sometimes I I can find myself without sleeping at the normal time, wherever I go because of the time difference. So I always need a couple of days, and but it's the same with the food. It's the same with the food.
really, yeah,
Yeah.
wow,
So in some places, my body needs a couple of days to get used to it. It depends on the cuisine to get used to the food I'm having. So it's just I always need a little bit of adjustment, and then boom, I can go.
wow,
But
wow,
Australia is too long. It's I
yeah,
can't
yeah,
imagine
yeah,
the
yeah,
big
yeah,
difference. I think it probably will be the same like you. I probably need to sleep. And if I drink,
yeah,
it will be
yeah.
double tired. So I don't think I could be able to do it.
Yeah,
No.
I mean the jet lag was for me was a killer. Thankfully the seats were very very comfortable because I'm quite tall. And I always say to my wife, anything beyond like 7 hours flights for me is too much. But 17, 18 hours and then waiting for 4 hour stopover
Oh
before you
God.
continue your flight, for me it was too much. And the jet lag for me was an absolute killer. Ricardo. I
Wow.
mean, to say, oh, we're going to go to the pub, thinking, no, no, we need at least 2 days just to acclimatize.
Yeah.
No, 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 man, no,
My
absolutely not.
goodness.
No, no, no. Right. I have a funny feeling, Primo, that you've been here before. I've only ever been here once. If you ever recognize this is like first
First
class, business
class.
class, and everything else above that. So I did speak about this last week on the podcast when I was traveling back to the UK from Costa Rica. My flight was to go to San Salvador,
Hmm.
and I'm going to get on to the second part towards the end of this podcast. So I'm in the queue waiting to go through immigration, transiting to my onward flight, and this guy picked me out from the line. I was thinking, oh, here we go again. Oh, here we go again. He said, no, you need to come to the front of the line. I was thinking, to the front of the line for what? So anyway, so I walked with him, and the woman was at the front. She said, we're upgrading passengers. I thought, what, me? You gonna
Wow.
I said, oh, right, okay. She goes, is that okay, Mr. Lee? I said, yeah, of course it is. So she just asked me to verify my details, took my passport, said, right, so we've upgraded you to first class. And that has been the first and only time, Primo, that I have been in first class. And when we got to the airplane, got to the front, because usually when I got on the airplane, you walk past first class, man, and you go to the back of the airplane.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this time I was at the front. I sat down. The airplane took off. But Primo, you know what happened? The stewardess came to me how many times? Mr. Lee, are you okay, Mr. Lee? Is there anything we can do for you? Would you like some wine? To a point, I got a little bit annoyed, man. I think just leave me
Oh,
alone, man. I just want to rest. I'm in first class. Let me, enjoy this. Maybe once and only time I'm going to be in first class, Primo. But just to be picked out from the line and being offered the opportunity to be upgraded, I mean, who would say no? Nobody's going to say
nobody.
no.
Nobody.
What about you,
Nobody.
Primo? I imagine you've been on first class many, many times.
I want to surprise you with this one. No, to be honest, only once, and it was something similar like you, but I was already in the plane, and but it wasn't a big journey. I don't know, it wasn't a big journey. It was a small journey, but I remember it was my early beginnings here, and I was traveling alone. To remember, but the reason why I think the reason why I realized I was in first class is because there was a lady close to me wearing a beautiful dress, and she's sitting there all, dapper, done. Uh, it's it's like you. I was in first class, and I didn't take advantage of the situation because for me it was just sitting there. Uh, Nice ride, my legs are completely stretched, it's comfortable. That's it. But I didn't know at that time. I don't remember being in the business at that time, so I didn't have a kind of a information or knowing more about first class and the things that you could do and the comfort. So I didn't know that much about that, but was kind of accidentally. But
Mm.
again, I mean, it's something that I'm looking forward to experience soon. I mean, first class is first class. I mean, the things that but for me, before the champagne or the food, it's gonna come down to have a good sleep. Have a
Yeah.
good sleep. That
Yeah.
is what I want to experience, right? And Primo, there is plane in Asia, no here. There is plane in Asia where you can have a shower.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There is a couple of planes in Asia that quite useful business people that you can have a shower before you get to the destination.
Wow. I don't know how I feel about that, man.
Uh, uh, well. The thing is, if you go to the a business meeting, or that when you get there, you need to hit the ground running.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is what these
yeah,
guys do. They get
yeah.
to the plane, they have a shower, freshen up, sit down there. They landed and they are ready to go. But imagine a plane with a shower, man.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, there's different level.
But that would be business class, isn't it? Not
Yeah,
not
yeah,
first
yeah,
class.
yeah,
It'd
yeah,
be
yeah.
business class.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not for
yeah.
everybody. No, like it. Yeah,
Wow,
not for
wow,
everybody.
wow, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna get on to my last travel stories, and So far we've been talking about medium experiences,
Mm.
and my wife will excuse me for this one. This was probably one of my worst experiences. So traveling back from back to the UK, I had to go to Bogota, El Dorado airport.
Yeah.
Very, very busy airport. Very, very busy. And unlike the UK, if you have family and you want your family to see you off, they'll allow you in the building. But El
Really?
Dorado, those places, they don't allow you in the airport. It's only for passengers, nobody else. So I went in, checked in, got to the gate, was waiting for the flight to be called. And the flight was called very, very early, I realized. And I was stopped at immigration.
Huh?
Oh, what's going on? What's going on here? So the guy said to me, do you speak Spanish? And I said to him, more or less, más o menos. He said, okay, no problem, no problem. So he brought out a card for me to read. And he said, right, on the card, it says, the immigration, we believe that you are transporting drugs, and we have the right to withhold your passport. Because I remember they took my passport, but they didn't get back to me. It's only when I
Mm.
got to the gate, they showed me the paper. They said, no, we believe you're holding drugs on your persons, and we have the right to withhold you and conduct a personal search. And I thought, what's
Wow.
going on here? And I had like maybe an hour and maybe 20 minutes to catch the flight. I thought, right, okay, just keep cool, calm, and collective. Don't start to be angry, because you don't want to give an opportunity to hold you and maybe for the immigration police to take you away.
Yeah.
So we were, I say we, I'm going to get to that in a moment. The guy said, you need to follow us. So there was like a few corridors, and he said, you need to go into this room. And this was a waiting room. Primo, when I got into this room, every person in this room almost looked like me. They were black, they were bald, and possibly my age. So I was probably in my early 40s at that time. They could have been my brothers. We all looked the same.
Wow.
I thought, right, okay, what's going on here? So they took us out one by one. Next door to this room was an X-ray machine. I said, right, can you put your bag there? Put your hands up, stand on this platform. The platform went into the X-ray machine, and it took you out from the X-ray machine. I thought, right, okay. Keep calm, Alex. Keep calm. Again, you don't want to give them any opportunity. So it was my turn. Went in, stand on the platform, levanta sus manos, pull your arms up, your hands. The machine took me in, and it took me out. Sit down there, siéntese ahí. I sat down. Okay, coge sus maletas, take your luggage,
Mm.
and go out. Go back into the room. I waited and waited, and by this time I was maybe probably there was two other guys in the room there, and then they led me out. And as I went out, Señor, su pasaporte, here's your passport and sus documentos. Muchísimas gracias. So obviously they didn't find anything on me, but the experience was one of the worst experience, Primo.
Awful.
One
Yeah,
of the
man.
worst. And I remember saying to my wife, I'm never going to Bogota airport again. And I have not been back there since.
Yeah, I'm South America is tricky, man. These guys they don't take prisoners, man.
Yeah,
South America is
yeah,
tricky. These guys are really different level of vicious, and
yeah,
yeah, you always need to be careful, man. You always
yeah.
need to be careful. But again, um, you traveling clean. This guy go, come on. Listen, I remember, right? This is a true story. I'm coming from Cuba. Coming from Cuba. I don't remember if I went to Amsterdam. I come back over here. But I at the airport I bought a bottle of rum to bring over here. And my bottle of rum was in a little seal, plastic seal, all done, beautiful done. And I asked at the shop, do you think I'm gonna have any problem if I buy some rum here? And no, 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 don't worry. You have the transit, they can't stop you. This is supposed to seal. Okay, here we go. Go my bottle of rum, all happy to bring it to UK. Go into costume, and this tall man guy stopped me and said to me, "No, you can't get with a bottle on the plane." Said, "Listen, officer, it's completely sealed. I just got in Cuba. I asked there, and they said to me, no problems. You can buy the rum." I said to me, no, you can't take it. You can't take it in the plane. Alex, I do. I was traveling with my ex at that time, and I I opened the bag, get the bottle out, opened the bottle, and I started drinking the bottle.
No,
The
no,
rum, the
no,
rum,
Primo.
started, the rum started coming out of my mouth. And when I couldn't drink more rum, I went straight to the bin and put the bottle upside down in the bin. I said to him, "Now, if you want it, you won't get it." Listen, man, I lost it. Man. I said, "I'm not gonna drink that rum, but you're not gonna make your day with a bottle of rum." No, no, no. Negative,
Oh, Primo.
negative. And he had to let me in. He had to let me in. He looked at me. I said, "This guy, man, just let me." Listen, I paid for that rum. And
Yeah.
they told me I won't have any problem. And now you're telling me that I need to leave. Of course, they're going to take you later. Because that's what they do at the airport.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
All the things, some of them, they don't go to lost and found. They don't then go to their pockets, man, and their bags. I said, not too late. Not too late.
But
Ah,
Primo, I read somewhere that traveling is one of the most stressful experiences. Going through the airport is one thing.
I think,
Getting on the airplane and realizing that you are how many thousand feet in the air. I mean,
listen,
last week I spoke about my mum. Probably the first time we went to Dominica, and at that time, because I know last year I think the Liat airplanes, the small airplane island hoppers, that they have gone out of business. But at that time, we had to fly to Antigua to go to Dominica, and as we were flying, the pilot said, "Look, we have to make a diversion to Guadeloupe island because there's been some problem with the airplane." My primo. So we're looking out of the airplane window, and we see the engine stop. The engine stops. So we land on Guadeloupe Island, and the airplane has a flat tire. There's a flat tire on the airplane.
flat
But before
tire.
we even arrive on the island, the turbulence was terrible, going up and down. There's probably maybe 15 people on the airplane, apart from our family. And my mum's panicking. Primo, she sat next to me and she's saying to me, "Are we going to die?" I thought,
Oh,
Mum, you can't say that, Mum. No, we're going to be okay.
uh,
And I was maybe 14, 15, trying to calm my mum down. And she
um,
grabbed my hand. "Are you sure?" I said, "Mum, we're going to be okay." I'm looking down at the sea. I've got my mum saying, "Are we going to die?" I said, "No, Mum, we're going to be all right." Oh, Primo. Oh, my goodness.
oh man,
Goodness. Oh, dear.
man.
Experiences, man. Experiences.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think so. I think that they're going through they're going through the airport, man. It's just a hard. I remember during COVID, I didn't stop traveling, and
really? Yeah.
no, carry on going to Cuba back and
Wow.
forth. And I do remember in Germany because the German they like the the Zippo lighter. You know the lighters. The
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
German
yeah.
love it. I do remember having a brand new one in my luggage. They open up the luggage, and by the time I get here, the Zippo wasn't there anymore. Somebody took it out of the luggage. Yeah, man. Listen, listen, it's the airport always have its stories, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Go-
yeah,
I,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, crazy with all the forms I needed to sign through the pandemic in different countries. You had to sign a different form. And the form wasn't there when you passed by, but now you're coming back. This is a new form. I saw the whole thing. It's always, but they are interesting places, man. I love, as much as I respect them, I love airports. I mean, this is crazy places, man. Too many people at the same time. People moving from A to B, and this is one of the main reasons why I love this industry because this industry will never stop.
Yeah,
People will never stop traveling.
yeah, yeah,
Forget
yeah.
that. Uh-huh.
And actually, the story I gave about flying to Costa Rica last year via Houston. So the group of people who we were stuck, some managed to escape Houston, and we have become a good friends. So there's a small group we have made up a WhatsApp group,
Yeah.
and it's called Stuck in Houston for 24 hours. So we still become friends. But like you say, there's an opportunity to meet people, even before you're waiting to get your flight out of the country, But yeah, man. Ah, my goodness. Anyway, we have come to an end actually on this latest segment.
Oh, wow,
Stick
brilliant.
to travel, man. But there is an opportunity to communicate with us. I mean, I think Ricardo kind of alluded to we are in an opportunity. It is not a job; it is a business. And if you are thinking you would like to be in our business, you can send me a WhatsApp message. So if you are out of the UK, it's plus 44 7949 360 741, or even better still, send me an email, alex_35956 at yahoo.com. Primo, is there anything else you want to say before we finish?
Well, first, thanks for inviting me over here, man. It's always great to be here in your book in your podcast. And again, I mean, travel. I mean, this is the
Yeah,
best experience ever. This is the best thing you could do to build experience. And as you said, I mean, at the airport, even I think it's the easiest place to get conversation with people. Period.
yeah,
Everybody happy, everybody headed to somewhere, and the energy is different. So for me, I love that. I love that. The things that you see when you travel, the places that you go, the people that you meet, are unique experiences. So yeah, back to you.
yeah. Yeah, brilliant, fantastic. So that's it. That's it. My cousin Primo
Yeah,
Ricardo.
well, one day, you need to tell the story to the
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
audience. All right? The big story behind this. All right, they need to know. They need to find
yeah.
out.
There's always a story, man. Always a
Yeah,
story. We
always,
have stories, man. But
always.
join me next week, Wednesday, when I'll have maybe I don't know, maybe Ricardo might join me. But definitely gonna have another guest on the show on the Stick to Travel podcast, and
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
we'll
we'll
get
have
you
more.
there. We're great.
Yeah, we'll have more travel stories, and they are truth. Really, these
Nice.
things have happened to each and every one of us. But until then, again, if you want to know more information, send me an email or simply just send me a WhatsApp message. But from Ricardo myself, this has been Stick to Travel podcast. I shall see you next week. Adios.
Bye bye, guys.